What can you expect in a custody evaluation? My name is Akiva Goldman. I'm the director and founder of Goldman & Associates. Our firm has a primary focus on family law issues here in Michigan, and today we're going to continue our video series designed to educate and inform the public, so please subscribe to our channel. Well, in custody cases, many times there'll be a referral for a recommendation based on an evaluation. We used to call that investigation and evaluation. Investigation recommendation. And what happens is, it's often done by a friend of the court, a mediator, a friend of the court personnel, and they will do an investigation to determine what they can recommend to the court about who might have the custody. Sometimes they recommend neither should have, sometimes both should have. Sometimes, when I say neither, I mean neither this one as opposed to that one. Sometimes, usually they're going to pick somebody. It's a very rare case where they say neither of these people should have custody. But I think the friend of the court, though, usually going to come up with either recommending mom or dad. That doesn't mean the court has to follow that. But what can you expect as part of that evaluation? Because in order for them to make that recommendation, they got to evaluate you. Well, what you should do is look at the dozen or so factors that there are for determining the best interest of the child. It behooves you to be familiar with those things because they're going to ask you questions based on those factors. So, for example, one of the factors might be the moral fitness of the parties. They're going to ask you questions designed to determine, are you morally fit to be a custodial parent in terms of yourself and as compared to the other person? So, if you drink a lot, if you gamble a lot, if you're a drug addict, if you're involved in fraud, if you've been arrested for shoplifting, if you have these kind of things in your past as part of your life, they're going to note that and they're going to say this factor weighs more heavily in favor of the other person who doesn't have all that resume of garbage. On the flip side, the court may say that, interview both, or the friend of the court may interview both and say the parties are equal on this issue. There are other factors too, like to whom does the child look to for guidance and emotional support and all that. So if you know that that's the factor, if you know that that's coming up, you may want to secure evidence or at least mentally be prepared to answer a question why that person is you, why that person would not be you, why your kids come to you instead of that. And if the kids come to the mom regarding that, you might be prepared to say, well, it's a good question. Here's the answer. On medical things, they go to mom, but on things regarding social life, they go to me. Or on things regarding sports, they may come to me or to train them or to help them or to coach them. But on scholastics, they go to mom. In other words, if you're not 100% the person, at least get ready to be able to say what is necessary for them to say, we take no position on this particular issue. They're both equal. You see, so those are the kind of questions that you should be expected to be able to answer. And like I said, if you can't produce evidence on them, at the very least, have answers prepared in your head so you don't say, oh, I don't know or I'm not sure, and the other side has good answers and therefore they get the nod. If you have any questions about that, reach out and we'll be glad to help you out.